What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum. But most importantly, if you'd like to join this discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching. Then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we have a fairly full Discord server, but joining us on the Google panel is the Adam Meakin, The Plain Truth, Ranty Flat Earth, Physics Warrior, Paul, Flatzoid, Chocolate Sane, Arwin, and 10th Man. Very good to have you all.
Good to be here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good day, good everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. And we'll also say hello to everyone in Discord. Good to have you all.
G'day, g'day.
Very good to have you all. So, any signs of Earth curvature?
Nope. None.
None whatsoever.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No,
I don't feel it.
no, not a lot. Zilch, that's the big O. Not a sausage, not a drop, not the tiniest spot, nothing whatsoever at all.
Well said.
Excellent. What about scientific evidence of gravity?
Scientific evidence of what?
Gravity, scientific evidence thereof.
Nope.
Nah.
No scientific evidence.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Can't measure it.
Where's Arwin gone? Arwin! There is no distance to the sun. I can't do a Dutch accent.
It sounded more Transylvanian.
That's what I was going for. That was the closest thing. Picturing him in a cape with fangs.
There is no distance to the sun.
There is no distance.
Blah, blah.
Yeah. So, any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
Zero.
Nope.
Not even a mantle.
About the R value, any evidence of Earth radius?
No.
Only presupposed.
No, just further confusion that there is no R value. It changes now, apparently.
Well, in that case, last but by no means least, is there any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container?
No.
No!
Oh, win!
Don't fall in.
No, but seriously, though, Arwin, is there any evidence of the distance to the sun?
That's even theoretically impossible.
Is it working?
It's a science fiction mind
Oh,
twist.
you didn't turn it on yet.
Oh, got physics.
So we don't know if it worked.
Just pop physics on mute. Sorry, say again, Arwin.
It's technically and theoretically impossible. Like, it's absurd. Yeah, any comparison that would be proper would be with something absurd. I don't know, like trying to
Simple no would have done.
like trying to erase a pencil with a pencil eraser, like the literal pencil.
I mean the pencil eraser that stuck to the end of it.
Or that.
Excellent.
I
Well,
have
that
something to
concludes.
present if
Yeah, I
everybody's.
was going to say, Ranty, I can see you hovering with your screen presented. That concludes the housekeeping, though. Thank you, everyone, for taking part. Didn't hear much from Discord, but nonetheless, thank you all. Right, Ranty, ready when you are.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, this was one of the most famous videos for flat Earth for globe earthers, and it was Wolfie6020, and he put this video out claiming Earth curvature. I'm just going to show you the results of his two tests. So this is his results. The image here is the image taken from the low elevation, and obviously the other image behind it is the image taken from a high elevation of about 30 meters. Now, it was interesting that I decided to look into this simply because some other people have actually started putting new videos out about this particular observation. So I've decided to take a quick look at it, and I'm not going to play much of the video, but he's set his tripod up here. It looks to be around about 2 feet in elevation. I'll just put that on pause a second, and there's the shoreline. Now he says that he's 2 meters above sea level. First and foremost, I'm gonna claim that that's just total nonsense. It looks to me no more than 3.5 feet or so above actual sea level. You can see that. Anyone that's not blind is going to see that for a fact that it isn't 2 meters. No way. Right, so that's first and foremost. So this is his lower elevation one that he's claimed, and obviously we've got the high elevation. Now, if we go to Google Earth, we've got a whole bunch of data points here that I can go and I can get data from those days. So I've decided to look into the wave and swell heights on this particular day. And what do you know? It was the 16th of June, 2017. We don't have a time for the time that he actually did the observation. It's very unclear, although it looks either very early morning or late evening. Now, considering that he put the video out and it appears that he's still working on it in the middle of the day, I'm going to say it's probably in the morning, although it's difficult to get an accurate time because he's not told me that. But this is the height of the waves at the time. So this is the wave height, 16th of June, from 7:50 in the morning up till, let's say, midday, 12 o'clock, 11:50. What we have here is we have a 2.44 meter wave height, 2.33, 2.46 meter wave height. So that's telling me that the height in feet is about 9 feet. The wave height is about 9 feet. So when he's looking out and doing this observation over here, from 12.5 miles looking to Rottnest Island, and he says it's proof of curvature, I don't see that at all, because the wave height is higher than where his tripod is at the shoreline. So his tripod is set to, he's guessing, now he's very clear that it is just a guess of 2 meters. I'm going to also guess that it's way less than 2 meters, but in any event, we have 9 feet waves out to sea. So when he's looking out at this observation and he's panning across and he comes to his, what he claims, where is it? You just have to bear with me. He claims it as perfect globe proof on over here. I'm just going to pause it. I don't see that. I see that he's looking above the waves. The waves are higher than his tripod, and that's what the blockage is. The blockage certainly isn't earth curve. It's actually waves, and that can be backed up. Anybody can go and find this data. All they need to do is click a few links, down a few spreadsheets, and they'll come up with this. And this is the data that was there at the time. 2.4 meter high waves in the foreground.
Out of interest, we've got somebody that's on a man on the, what's it called, foreign correspondent or whatever. Okay, Mind Warped, who's in that area, right?
Yep.
What's the height today?
Oh, I'd have to go through and download a whole bunch of stuff to get that data. I can probably look it up, but it'll take me a good 10-15 minutes.
I didn't expect you to have it off the top of your head, because I realised that when you said way back when, because I didn't realise this was you probably did say this is from way back when. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, excellent presentation, Ranty. Is there anything more to add?
Basically, yeah, he's debunked all that claim from 2 years ago that this is absolute proof of Earth curve was nothing of the sort. You know, these wave heights, these 9-foot wave heights in the foreground, are going to cause 4.5 feet of blockage in front of him. So if his tripod, and I'm saying his tripod is absolutely set less than 2 meters, absolutely less than 2 meters. I mean, you can see it. A blind person can see that. And yeah, I mean, there we go. We'll just go back to just show you again. His tripod set to 2 feet. And look, the water's just down here. It's just a slope. It's a tiny little slope. There's no more than another couple of feet down to the shoreline there, you know. And the waves are higher than him. He's debunked. End of story.
Hey, Ranty, mate. First of all, I love you, fella.
Yeah, bravo.
That is wicked work, and you have debunked him. But mate, you couldn't have done it 2 years ago, because the reason he's debunked is all the hard work you've put in and the evidence you've demonstrated in terms of the effect. And obviously that's a beautiful nail in the coffin, that spreadsheet. But it's reliant on your work for that spreadsheet to mean anything, mate. So congratulations, fella. That's
impressive.
proof of your work.
Thanks very much. Well, it's the amplitude of the wave. The amplitude of the wave will be higher than the shoreline here. So where this wave is just lapping up on the shoreline, any amplitude on the wave is going to be higher than where that is there, where my cursor is right now. So if we've got 9 foot waves out in the distance, 4.5 feet of that will be amplitude, which is physical blockage. Physical blockage will be blocking his view of that island. And it looks to me very clearly, because he does even estimate it, he's very clear that he's estimating that he is lower than 2 meters. Absolutely.
Ranty, can you take a still shot of him taking a picture of his camera again to see the height?
I'll just play. There he is. He's actually hovering over it. He shows it in a different video where he actually lowers it down and it plonks on the floor. It looks to me like it's about a 2 meter tripod.
No, just
a 2 foot tripod. Sorry.
Yeah. Just get it to where it's clear, and there you go, right there. So 2 meters is 6.5 feet.
Yes.
So how tall is this guy?
Well, if he said 6 feet, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Well, look at the angle of the picture of his camera.
Oh, he's well above. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, well spotted. Well spotted, 10th man. Yeah, he's looking right down on it.
So he's absolutely lower than 2 meters. He says 2 meters. I don't believe that for a second. And this spreadsheet is just the final nail in the coffin. This is the total wave height. The green one, the first one is the swell, and the second one over here is the sea. So we have obviously total wave height, swell, and sea in the first column.
Bravo.
That's me done.
Very well done.
No worries. And thanks, Adam. Thanks, I do. It's nice for you to have said that. Actually, I do appreciate that.
No, it's spot on, mate. That's
awesome work, brother.
Yeah. That data is useless as a rebuttal without particularly the work on amplitudes that you've highlighted and discovered. And what's more impressive, mate, is the way you're able to. You've got the know-how now to go back, time travel, and pull that data so you can actually analyze. Like I say, what was quite a well-known ball earth proof and touted, and if it's getting brought up again, mate, that's nice. You're going to slap it back down with style.
Well, I got in touch with the Australian marine, whoever they deal with. I got in touch with them anyway, and they gave me a few links to download the data from. So I had to download it and then extract it in WinRAR, etc., and upload the data, and it's all there. I mean, you can find it. They've got it for all that entire region. So I could pull it up for any date now, going back as far as 1990, I think. So good. So what about you, Adam? Did you get that copyright strike removed?
No, I was just saying in the break, we're just in that holding time. I think waiting for YouTube to make their decision first, and then how long does it take, Nathan? About a couple of weeks, isn't it? I think first.
I think you get from the time it gets submitted to them by YouTube, which can take up to a week, in my experience. They then get 10 days to respond, so it can drag out quite a lot, actually. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, it goes.
Are we going to hear from Anthony, or is he having trouble getting on because the panel's full?
He hasn't been on at all today, so I don't know.
Shout out to him for Farmer Boy.
May as well
Yeah,
plug,
rest in peace, Farmer Boy.
may as well plug the Iron Realm Media channel and your show Friday, Adam. So Friday, I'll start it off. So Friday the 7th, check out
Yep.
Iron Realm Media. Adam, what's on the docket?
You know, all I know is the guys have got on TFR in the morning at 10 o'clock UK time. They're going to have Damascus on again because he's somebody Walt's known for a while. It was a good chat with him on last Friday night, and then Friday night I haven't got a clue because all the boys were busy yesterday when we normally meet up, so we're not meeting up till tonight. So I think there's a couple of there's one bit which I want to show, which we'll probably discuss. Which is this rainbow picture I've just sent you, Nathan. I don't know if you...
Yeah, by the way, that was an awesome picture, man.
Yeah, Zach's taken this. See if can I screen share, Nathan?
I can stick it up for the audience eyes only if you want.
You should have it now.
You know what you're talking about, though. You can screen share. Oh, yes, you've got it up. That saves me the
You
job.
got it?
Yeah, I've got it.
So Zach's
Shut up.
taken this. And we appear to have what's not unheard of, a double rainbow. And I didn't pay much attention. Then he said, no, look properly. And if you look at it, the much faded outer rainbow is actually a mirror image. The spectrum's reversed.
I can't see. I'm completely colourblind.
Yeah, well, trust me, it's very faint, but the first one goes red down to blue from outside to inside, and it's reversed on the other one. It's very faint, but you can see that the red is on
just
the
about make
inside.
that out. Yes, I do see that now. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and also in the inside rim, you've got much lighter skies and like much more cloudy, darker skies on the outside edge. Like literally the defining line of those two different sky textures is that first rainbow that you're saying is mirrored inside the dark section.
Maybe, or to me it just seems like the rainbow is just incredibly broad, but the most visible part is at the center. Like the rest is diffusing or refracting, like overexposure.
I think what Adam is saying is that the arc matches the first one that's clearly seen, but the second one is inversed where the colors are switched. Is that right, Adam?
Correct. Yeah.
So this is exactly what Guy Mass, our flat earther from Israel, was talking about a couple of weeks ago.
No, I can't. I
Hold on.
can't really.
Sorry,
tell. It
Owen.
looked green on the outside.
Yeah.
Go on. What you have to summarise for the audience, 10th man.
Well, Guy Mass came on the show. He has the Israeli Flat Earth channel, so to speak, and he listens to this show. He had props out for Quantum Eraser, and then he brought up the rainbow exactly like Adam is, and he says, yeah, it's not just one, but a double. And he was referencing the Hebrew scriptures about the dome, which is the firmament in Genesis, where this whole second day of creation, God made something called the firmament, which is a hard object, a dome. So for us here on the show, we refer to it as a container. Guy used the Hebrew and said it's rakia, which comes from the root word raka, which is a hard, solid substance. So this is very cool because he didn't have this picture, but Adam shows exactly what he's talking about, the double rainbow. And the shape of the rainbow is reflecting off of the container.
Okay.
If it was a double rainbow, I would expect the spectrum to be the same. So that's my confusion. It's the fact that we've got that. It's almost like a mirage. It's like a mirror image.
Well, that's what he was saying. What Guy was saying, and I haven't done this myself, but just remembering the show, he's saying that when you see the first rainbow that's more visible, that's coming down towards us, we see the colors, but it's also bouncing off of the dome or the firmament again. And so that's what's causing that. So he's saying it's the light bouncing again off of something. That's what he was saying.
Excellent. Did you say Zach took this?
Yeah.
Shout out to Good Times for All. GUDTIMS 4ALL. Good Times for All. Great picture. Anybody else got anything to add? Because I can see Ranty with something looking very serious down in that corner.
I've shown double rainbows live on air here with my webcam.
Indeed, you have. Check out the early bird show with Arwin. Ranty, are you just coincidentally scrolling through stuff, or did you want to share something? You're on mute at the moment, Ranty.
So I was. Yeah, you wanted to know what the swell and the wave heights were for today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Okay, so yeah, it's just here right now, 6th of June 2019. We have the sea, which is a 2.73 meter with a swell of 2.94 meter. Swell, the amplitude of that will be half, which is basically 1.5 meters or 4.5 feet. So if you're stood at the shoreline and you're holding the camera at 4.5 feet, essentially you're at sea level. The water out to shore the waves will be the same height as your camera and your feet at the shoreline.
That's today.
So, sorry?
That's today. He's not actually here, but my reason for asking was because of Mind Warped, but I'm sure you realise that, right?
Right, okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you for looking at
and then obviously we've got a significant wave height, and bearing in mind that the significant wave height which is given, which is just beneath 4 meters, 1 in 8 of these waves will be higher than the significant wave height given. So if it says here it's a 4 meter significant wave height, 1 in 8 of those will be higher. Now, bearing in mind that these wave reports are for boats and not for observations, so it's just so that if a mariner's out to sea and on a boat, they can expect a 4 meter significant wave height. But to expect that 1 in 8 of these waves will be higher than that given. But for observational purposes, you must include the higher wave height because you'll be looking across thousands of waves as doing an observation. So if the significant wave height is 4 meters, you can probably add another 0.5 meter on or so, being that 1 in 8 of those waves will be higher, and you need to input that data for your observational purposes.
Excellent. Thank you very much for looking that up.
No worries.
Shame it's not as relevant as if Mind Warped is actually here, but yeah, nonetheless, I'm sure he'll be watching or hopefully be informed, and he'll whatever he does with the information is entirely up to him, of course, but we'll see. Cool.
Coolio. So, when you do the 1980 streams, I noticed that a lot of people seem to drop off on the second show. Do you think you promote it enough and let people know that you do a second show immediately after the first show ends?
No, I intentionally don't. Quite the opposite.
Okay.
So I want this show to go out to a more limited audience. So the idea is that when this live show finishes, so there's 113 people watching, right? Well, you're they're the hardcore flat Earth debate. I hate to use this word, but fans, if you will. Doesn't matter what side of the argument. They're keen to watch, right? And they therefore know, and they found their way here anyway. Well, good for them. When the show finishes live, it's switched off. So I don't necessarily, I don't spam the chat going, share the show. I'll do that when it goes out a bit later, probably in 12 to 18 hours time. I forget what, I haven't got my schedule sheet in front of me. But whenever this goes out on Nathan Oakley 1980, it's essentially going out for the first time because only a limited audience of very keen people who may or may not want to watch it again with the pre-show and after-show strapped on when it goes out on Nathan Oakley. So it's designed to allow me to have ball busters because it means I can then spread out the way that the show gets published on the main channel. And then on a Saturday, rather than doing the debate, I can have a live and do ball busters, and then there's still a show left over to put out on Sunday.
Okay.
And it's good when we get the after show because I pissed my sides last night. It was a fantastic after show yesterday, the Plane of Walk one, mate.
I got a lot of sticks about too much swearing.
Plane of Walk.
Too much swearing, lack of sleep. I had a long-winded discussion with several people about it, including my wife, and it's like, I want to make excuses and go, look, I'm really tired. I've got a newborn baby in the house, so I was very agitated, and Plane of Walk's a prick, and all these excuses, but really there's no excuse. So while I'd love to take the compliment, I watched it with a heavy heart, the after show, because I was swearing at him so much.
I'm kind of numb to your swearing, mate. It's a bit like watching a a Cockney movie. You get used to it after a while, and you can tune out and just focus on the actual content as opposed to.
Oh, great! That makes me feel so much better. It was like watching a Cockney movie. I'm just going to go on mute and
You
go
know,
cry.
everything's got an expletive precursor in it, does it? Do you know what I mean? So that's fine. Like I say, to me, it didn't disrupt the dismantling.
Also,
Thought you were
ballers
spoken
will
to
call
me.
us every name in the book and never say it's wrong. At least
Yeah.
we go, you know what? We got caught up in the moment. We're wrong. We shouldn't have said it. They'll never say that. They'll be like, oh, you deserve it.
What you show? Oh wow! Now I know what you're showing.
There was a bit though, Nathan. Exactly. I've just seen the boat myself that I was screaming at the TV because Ranty was there. Just pull up Panda Boat, so he could, because he was struggling with the rate of compression.
Well, this is new, man. This is like, oh, come on, we've got to give it a
It's a
name.
name.
I can never think of one quick enough, and someone else gets there. God damn it! Ranty's just thrown this up without any prompting, and now I can't. I'm completely
It's a
blank.
bit like a duck boat.
No, it's like gulping. It's like frog boat. Look, it's got a wide mouth and it's gulping.
Guppy.
I'm going to call that frog boat. Frog boat, come on.
Yeah, this is frog boat.
Yeah.
Yay! I
like
got to
it,
name
yeah.
one. Yes.
This was filmed today, and clearly it's not behind the Earth curve at all. It's not bouncing in and out of Earth curve. It's just the optical effect of this inferior mirage as it goes across the swell. It wasn't very swelly today. I think the swell in this location was around about 1 foot, so it's it's hardly anything really.
Ooh.
Bit of waves.
You could
That's a
call it
16-foot
Pac-Man
boat as
boat.
well. Sorry.
How about
It looked like-
Pac-Man boat?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a Pac-Man boat.
I'm going to say I'm going to relinquish frog boat now. It's got that wide. I'm happy for you to take that one. It's better. Pac-Man boat. Yeah, I'm good with that. 10th man, you can have it.
Waka waka.
Wagga wagga. Yeah, look at that. Wagga 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 wagga.
It's biting into the mirage.
Well, it was short-lived, but I'm happy to relinquish that to you, 10th man. Pac-Man boat. That's priceless.
Actually, Arwen and I thought about it at the same time, so we'll share that.
We were just on the same wavelength.
And the thing is, this is a 16-foot high boat, so you know we're losing half of it every second or so, and then it's being shown again. So we're losing it, we're getting it, we're losing it, we're getting it, and it's all just down to a little bit of waves and the inferior mirage. Pretty cool. Pac-Man boat, like it.
Can you leave it playing?
Yeah, I mean, I can leave it playing, but I don't always film. I'm not always filming that. I'm filming other stuff too. So if you're quite happy to watch the whole lot, that's fine.
Definitely. Yes, please.
The very first time I went out and shot the Anacap Islands, I got a similar image with a fishing boat that was out.
Crazy, innit? The optical effects over water.
Camera.
But one thing's for
It's
sure,
like it's swimming in a mirror.
What camera?
To me, it just looks like it's swimming in a mirror.
This
Pete Shea
P1.
calls it.
Is this P1000 or P900 footage, Ranty?
Oh yeah, this is P1000. Yeah, so it's filmed in 4K, and I have uploaded it to my channel, so it's on there if people want to download the video themselves and have a look. But what's interesting is I've just noticed now actually is in the background we have the chimney spots over in Barrow in Furnace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that when I watched it this morning.
And it would appear that the inferior mirage is much higher up because you can just about see it here. And obviously all the lower lying buildings are hidden behind that, behind the inferior mirage. But I think the chimney, it's very high up, isn't it? Considering, you know, that it's supposed to be behind Earth curve from this distance. Don't you think that's kind of funny? That it's supposed to be behind Earth curve, yet we're seeing it.
I struggle to conceptualize it as a sphere now, so that proportionately is perfect, right? That's how it should be. It's flat between you and that boat in the near foreground. The chimneys go up slightly higher than it relative to the line of the water. It's proportionately perfect. I mean, obviously an observably flat, but to kind of, I really do struggle to go, well, what would it be like on a bloody sphere? Is like, what? I genuinely struggle with it these days. But if you see that, if you see the conceptualization of it in a sphere model as laughable, I'll take your word for it. But I ain't laughing because I can't do it anymore.
I'm quite the distance actually today because I'm much further away than normal. I can show you. I'll just show you where I am on Google Earth actually. Let's just. Hopefully, I'll end up back where I need to be. Yeah, so I'm quite the distance today. So let me bring this up on here. So it's between North Pier and Central Pier. So that would have been right here. So let's do some distances, shall we? Approximately 100 meters out from the wall. So let's get some distances to that tower. What we have 19 miles now. Still going. 21.5 miles. Oh, this is where are we? These chimney pots are right here, I think, or in this general vicinity. I haven't looked at these for a while, so you'll have to bear with me. They're in this location anyway. That's all I can say. So we're looking at about 21.5 miles to those chimneys. Elevation approximately 10 feet above sea level.
The thing that I've thought about when I look at I was looking at some footage that I had this morning too, and if you think about the apparent horizon line, and then the distance, I would like to see two boats, one right on the apparent horizon, and then your leapfrog boat in the distance, so that we can know what the distance is between those two, because the image that I was watching this morning, for me, I had a freighter going along the apparent horizon line, and it was obscured, so you couldn't see the whole thing. So all you could see was the captain's deck at the back, and then at the bow, you could see some indicator. It would look like, I don't know, some kind of antenna, right? So, but it was below the horizon line. So the question then becomes, well, where is that apparent horizon line? Because if you think about it from an orthographic view, the distance required for that boat to be obscured by the bulge of water, would have to be proportionate to the distance between the apparent horizon and the actual physical location of that boat. And as I watch those images, I can just work it out logically that it doesn't. You would have to, the boat would have to be farther away than it really is in order for that much of the boat to be gone. But we would need a second boat on that horizon line.
Well, I've got plenty of double boats imagery with two inferior mirages, one in the foreground boat and one on the one behind. And you can clearly tell that it's not Earth curve where the inferior mirage is, because it's higher up on the boat in the background. And I believe it was about 8 miles away, the furthest boat, and most of that was missing, if not all of it. It shouldn't have been.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, that it's 8 miles away and you've got the majority of the boat missing, that it doesn't match up.
Oh no, this was a big boat. I mean, you're talking 100-foot high boat, this, and my elevation was around about 6 feet above sea level. So there was no way that boat should have even been hidden at all, even if you took into account Earth curve. But 2/3 of the boat, if not more, were missing. So there was at least 70 foot hidden of the boat behind the inferior mirage at a distance of 8 miles. It's impossible.
Hey, Nathan, you were saying earlier, trying to see it like a sphere. There's videos online about tuna towers on fishing boats. One that's labeled Tuna Tower View. It is so interesting because they take a wide angle lens. And if everything they were telling us about our reality was a ball, that's how the picture would look. I'm gonna see if I can send one clip of it that I took a snapshot on my phone to the Skype channel. Maybe you could put it up.
Let me know when it comes through on Skype and I'll stick it up.
Yeah, there also appears to be a lot of distortion when there's ever these inferior mirages around. You know, you never get a clear image of anything. You know, I mean, the boat, you couldn't focus it for love nor money. You know, that's the best you could get. And it's not like last year. I think I say on the video, like last year, I'd had perhaps 30 days up to, you know, where I've been able to see really, really good visibility. You know, this year we've had maybe 1 or 2 days that have just been acceptable. And the rest of it's just had inferior mirages and mist for the first 4 months. Can you believe it? Yeah, this inferior mirage, it's killing my observations this year, unfortunately.
Okay, it should be up, Nathan.
Okay, give me a minute. The back of a boat, yeah? 10th man?
Yeah, that's from the tower looking down.
I haven't quite got it framed correctly. Did you want the really warped lens effect?
No, that's the way it came because they're using a wide angle lens. That's the way it should look like if they're right?
No, sure, but it's just not framed to show it really nicely. Is that critical to what you wanted to show?
No, just show it. I think people could see it because if you go to the video, you'll see right from the port as they're leaving, everything's got the same curve.
But is that what you want to show?
Yeah, I sent it to Skype because it was referencing when you were saying...
Not the picture. Just listen. The curve isn't showing because it's not framed nicely.
Oh, I see. What do you want me to do?
Nothing. I'm just saying, my question is, does it need to be seen?
That's up to you.
Oh, you're the one asking me to present it. Is that critical to the point you're making with this picture?
No, I was just responding to where I thought, because I was walking in and out of the room and you were talking about how it's hard for you to imagine that curve on the water. So I said, oh, this would be a good one to show.
So it is critical. Hold on.
No, I mean, it's just completely Narnia.
All I was trying to say is I've got to resize the picture in order to get it to actually fit with that curve that you're trying to show. When I just expand it to full screen, it actually cut off the curve that you're trying to illustrate for your point.
Sure.
There you go, on screen for the audience.
Oh, and just a side note before you guys carry on. I found the tower. It's 21.7 miles away.
You want to present it? I can't see with this on my other screen that's presenting to the
audience. Sorry, I thought you were still presenting.
I've just got a picture of this curve at the moment, so do I need to put you back on, Ranty?
Yeah, one sec.
You're not screen sharing anyway, FYI.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, so here's the tower. There's the tower, and there's my line measure. So if I put the properties in and I go to the measurements, we've got 21.7 miles. So there's the tower there. I wasn't far off. I thought it was slightly down here when I showed 21.5, but it's just there. That's some distance, Nath.
Sure is. Flat as a pancake.
Where's Tony?
I don't know, to be honest. That killed that conversation.
It did. I don't know what to say.
Thank you for presenting.
Well, we've already debunked Wolfie this, I mean, been quite a good stream already.
Oh yeah, I mean, if there's meat still left on those bones, why not pick it off?
Pick the bones off of it. Yeah. There's no way he was 2 meters above sea level. Who was it who said, was he standing over the tripod?
10th man.
10th man, nicely spotted there.
Funny because it was obvious when she said it, right?
Yeah.
Not hearing much from the Discord server. Obviously, no objections to anything that's been said from anybody who wants to join.
Yeah, well, these globe heads know that we're onto him now, you see.
Fairly calm couple of shows. The person who's had the most stick was Spurs.
Yeah. Is he still here, Spurs?
No, doesn't look like it. It feels like one of those calm little moments before a storm ensues, though, doesn't it?
Be nice. Be nice if somebody wanted to challenge this this data that I was able to pull up from Rottnest Island. Be nice if somebody could actually jump on and try and challenge me on that and say that oh no, it's Earth curve. Wolfie actually filmed Earth curve, and then I can hit them with the data that shows that his tripod was lower than the wave heights out to sea, which was causing the blockage in the lower part of the island. Nice if somebody'd come in and challenge me on it.
You not want to have a little poke at the bear?
I have poked him. I asked him, I basically said I'm getting ready to present a video on his video. And then he went into, well, you need to stop looking at my stuff and start working out flight maps. Why don't you work out flight maps? And I'm like, I'm not looking at flight maps right now. I'm working on observations, and you've got a good one out there, and I'm just going to look into it. What date did you take the video, mate? Yeah, well, what about flight times? So I think he knew what was going to come. I think he was expecting something to be released about it.
Well, the fact he immediately red herringed you is just right. You were announcing something that you were doing, right? Present tense.
Yeah. I'll have to find the comment. Let me see if I've got it. If I've got it up here.
Oh, you've learnt well from Anthony. Yes, that's how you poke the bear.
Hang on, where's it gone? Right. I'll have to find the exact video.
I was just gonna say, Ranty, you have been learning from Riley. See that?
Is Wolfie a reasonably well-respected priest? I don't know Wolfie that well.
Well, his channel's blown up recently. I think he got promoted off Simon Dan, and also that other guy that did the flight plan thing and put a challenge out, £10,000 or something ridiculous. And Wolfie took him up on it, and then that got a lot of people interested in his channel. So I think like a few months ago, he only had like 10,000 subscribers. Now he's got like 70.
Only?
Well, in comparison to what he has now.
Amazing. So he's far more popular than this channel. I'm amazed.
Yeah, he's the guy that keeps pushing the equatorial mounts down on everybody's throats.
Of course, they've got to beg the question.
Yeah, try explaining that to a glober.
If we assume the Earth is a ball, then my equatorial mount will demonstrate that the stars go under the Earth. The stars go under the Earth. Look, watch my equatorial mount. Therefore, the Earth is a sphere. So, they're always the same. They're always affirming the consequent, begging the question.
Yeah, I'd love to see those
stars go under the Earth?
How about actually showing stars beneath eye line at great height?
Yeah.
I'd like to see a demonstration of that.
Yeah, I'd like to see stars under my own arse as well, Arwin. They won't.
Yeah, but even just slightly, because we see the stars basically at above our eye levels, right? So if that's supposedly around the globe, then show us stars beneath our eye level.
Yeah, beneath our ass.
Any setting.
Yeah, I want to see antipodal stars too. Unless we assume we travel to the antipode position on a sphere, or to put it another way, beg the question that we're on a sphere, we don't experience travelling over a curve when we travel those distances. We just see the stars above us. We just have to assume, or beg the question, that they're under our own arse at this particular moment. Well, no, I've never experienced stars under my own arse. But if you beg
the one
question,
thing I can't get them to try and understand is you're observing stars. It's stars moving. How can you try and put that into effect to say it's the Earth moving when you can look and clearly see it's stars moving?
Because when we were kids, somebody told us fantastic stories about it. That's what that is.
But just,
You want to see the comment?
With only those references, you couldn't tell the difference between the two, though, and they've just picked the latter. You're not going to be able to tell without a third reference point which one's which. But other than the fact that we don't experience anything in regards to a travel, you know, we don't feel any forces, we don't experience any changes in speed. Shout out to Ute. He says we don't cover this enough. Speed changes that we don't experience. You know, we're blatantly motionless. But from the perspective of just saying, well, us versus the stars, which one's moving, well, you could argue for either. Obviously, they do.
Going to present my screen, Nate?
Of course.
I've got his responses up, and it's quite telling, actually.
Oh, great, poking the bear. On you go.
Yeah, so I literally just put date of observation, and that was it, you know, question mark. And immediately he's on the defensive. So he goes, I was in Perth for a month and made several videos while there. So I would say it was on the date of the video was published, or perhaps the day before. Now, I've checked back on his channel and it was the day before. So that's how I was able to bring up the data anyway. Can I ask when you guys will tackle the bigger problem facing flat Earth? E.g., not one flat earther can show me a flight plan that works based on a flat Earth. Don't take this personally, but there is no point keep showing us observations over tiny distances that work fine on a globe anyway and are easily debunked. Literally, this is his video of a tiny observation, right? And he's saying don't take it personally, but there's no point showing us observations. Anyway, when will one of you be ready to show me a real flight plan that works? I have been waiting for 2.5 years and not one flat earther can do my simple challenge. So, I mean, he must have known exactly what I was looking into his observation for, because immediately he goes on to explain that observations mean nothing, yet this is his observation. It's just funny. So,
I love it.
So who are you talking about here?
Wolfie.
Wolfie, 60-20.
Wolfie, he's your typical dumbass baller. You know, is about as sharp as Gimp Panda in his birds humping natural experiment. I dispatched Wolfie 60-20 probably about 2.5 years ago, periodically over the past 3 years. I'd jump on his channel and pummel all his friggin' miscreant cronies too. They're friggin' morons. Have one of them come on here and defend their horse shit. Bring that equatorial mount on here.
I've asked them to come on, they don't.
So I was poking the bear a little bit, and
poking the bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna poke the bear.
Retard.
Well, while I might have agreed with you, he's got an unbelievable number of subscribers now, and as a YouTuber, I'm keen for that, John. Sorry if that's.
We already know how those subscribers go, and the number of subscribers or the number of upvotes or downvotes doesn't mean jack shit.
Subscribe today.
I think he's been listening to you, John, because he's put it in here. Flat Earther struggles with 3rd grade maths. Where did you get that from?
Well, mathematics isn't physics. It's not science. For crying out loud. Hey, can anyone show me the Nobel Prize for mathematics?
Oh yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. This is how he's going to big himself up, right? So basically, listen to this, right? He's basically saying, he's talking about you, Nathan. He actually has a go at you. Do you want to listen to this?
I don't mind. Poke the bear away.
It's put, I don't waste my time listening to the flat earth debate because it's a load of nonsense. The guy pumps out videos daily and still only has 3 million total views. His videos only get 1 to 2,000 views. That is pathetic. Now, bearing in mind that this guy with awful content, who literally is like a very mediocre globehead, just got his position with his 70,000 subscribers from a campaign to promote him from within the globe Earth side. It wasn't like he earned his position, his 70,000 subscribers. People just jumped on the bandwagon and subscribed to him. And that's the only reason he has this many subscribers.
Why are we even talking about this?
Well,
okay, break the argument down. Break his argument down. The Earth is a spinning ball-tard space monkey because I have numbers.
Yeah,
that's
but
the argument.
This is the cool part.
Right? Yes, hold on. That's correct, John. So essentially, there's a conflict of interest here. So, number one, what Ranty's saying, I actually approve of. So good for you, Wolfie. As much as Ranty's tried to turn that into a negative, kudos.
I'm not saying that's whatever. What I'm saying is, what he's putting in here is he's bigging himself up and trying to put everybody else down, including myself, saying, look at my channel, not even 250,000 total views,
Who
right?
cares?
So, yeah, I know this. But what I'm saying is, he's using his subscriber base as a way to try and belittle the work that I'm going to do and how I'm going to expose his Rottnest Island observation, for instance. So he's trying to put himself up as a bigger celebrity kind of thing over any kind of work that I've put out or Nathan's putting out, etc. And this is the narcissism that goes along with this type of personality. Because literally, I only asked him the date of the observation, and already he was on one, literally immediately. And then he goes into this: I have so many million views, blah blah. I have so many subscribers. You have no views, no subscribers.
Yeah, we already heard it. We already heard it, Ranty. We already heard it. We got it. All right. It's a fucking moron argument. Why go over it again?
Because I want to.
Yeah, it's an appeal to consensus fallacy. But there is Ranty also is a YouTuber. I hope you don't mind me labelling that your way. So there is a conflict of interest, but ultimately speaking, overarchingly, I agree with John. It's like, who cares? This is a crap argument. And you're right, that's the point. All Ranty's doing is highlighting his crap argument, John.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
So, anyone see any drop lately?
No rebuttals to it either. Me saying that there is no rebuttal has now become kind of like their red herring rebuttal. Because they go, you say there's no rebuttal. It's his new favourite word. Yeah, that's right, because it's true. There is no rebuttal, unfortunately. There is no drop. There's no demonstrated drop, but you have to tell us a square is a circle. Beautiful. It's epic. I love it.
Yeah, I went on there looking for, I usually don't look through the comments of the Ballbusters videos because, you know, the troll count. But I was legitimately looking for an actual argument. I mean, I went through each comment. No, not like the Baltards do. Oh, there's no argument to my position. No, I went through each one looking for some type of legitimate argument. None. 90% were ha 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 laughing or talking about a different subject, right? Nothing about the particular subject. Just ad homs and your regular spinning ball space monkey drivel, you know, but no arguments. There's none there. Go in there, go to the video and look through the comments. Somebody pull one out. All right. And we'll go over it. You don't have to do it now, but at some point, go through there, pull out what you think is a legitimate argument, and we'll go over it step by step.
Well, there was one guy that formulated a logical fallacy of begging the question into it, but basically the way he formulated it could almost be called an argument in the respect that he was saying the original datum for the measurements is based on a sphere. In other words, they're using the geoid. You should be using the geoid. And
the
I
geoid.
said, well, the geoid, yeah. So my reply was like, okay, so you've almost formulated an argument. You've told me that I've not begged the question correctly. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I didn't beg the question correctly and assume that square was a circle because there's a little bit of text saying this is based on a circle.
Well, have a spinning ball space monkey jump on here. Go ahead and define this geoid. Then go ahead and define elevation, right? And drop. We want to see your model with actual 8 inches per mile squared drop. That's elevation drop. There's no other drop than elevation drop. It's almost painfully redundant, right?
Yeah. Did you see the first show with Dawn? I was trying to get that through to him. He just wouldn't let me make my point. That's what an elevation profile is measuring, right? The amount of drop.
Oh my God. It's like explaining trig to a 3-month-old. That's what it's like. I'm telling you, that's what it's like. What do you want us to find next? Is or and? You don't know what level is, for crying out loud. I mean, you people are you mainlining fluoride?
That's aimed at the ballers who believe they live on a spinning space rock flying through an infinitely expanding vacuum. Just so that's clear, I just want everyone to be realising who this is, the mainlining fluoride is aimed at.
I got ballers. I'm sorry. I got flat earthers. I couldn't believe it the other day. Pete Shea. Pete Shea. He's on this debate with, I don't know, this guy. As soon as I looked at him, I said, I was wondering why he wasn't in a straitjacket, institutionalized. This guy brought out, I don't know, it was a ball on some type of stick, and he was trying to provide an argument for, oh, we're not spinning that fast. He pulls it up, he sticks it on the video, and he says, he put a dot on it with a black marker. He goes, where will this black marker be in 3 hours after we're done with our discussion? I'm there, what the fuck? And then Pete, the guy didn't even formulate the argument right, because what he's trying to do is trying to conflate angular velocity and speed. Real dumbass 2015 argument. But Pete says, yeah, I know, more or less that's a problem. We don't have an answer. Pete, you've been out here for 4 years and you let him get away with that shit? Get your ass on here.
And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of today's live panel. If you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A massive thanks for tuning in, hopefully sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. As I say, if you need to keep yourself up to date with the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!